I wanted to film a quick video to update you on the government's release of its Renters Reform White Paper. Whilst not yet set in stone, there are a few points to mention at this stage to provide some clarity on what is being mooted. I'm James Whalley, franchise owner of Belvoir Lettings, Northwich and Congleton. The most notable proposed reform is that the current Section 21 of the Housing Act 1988 is to be abolished and changes made to the existing Section 8 of this Act. If you've not heard of these terms before, they are simply statutory devices for a landlord to regain possession of a rental property. The Section 21 is seen as what has been termed the no-fault eviction process, whereby a landlord doesn't have to state a reason for serving the notice. Some commentators have said that this has been abused by a minority, where they have served this notice to their tenants on a whim without providing reasonable and justified grounds for doing so. The reasoning for abolishing this Section 21 and enhancing powers under Section 8 is that a landlord must have valid and reasonable grounds for regaining possession of the property, whether it be to sell a property or move back into it, for example. The Section 8 is a notoriously complex document to complete and is best being completed by a solicitor. In fact, we at Belvoir have never served a Section 8 ourselves and have always relied on the expertise of a solicitor to do so on our behalf. Going forward, we will continue to recommend a legal representative completes a Section 8. Another planned reform is that all landlords must become registered on our property portal so that local authorities can ensure accountability in terms of property standards and redress, so that if a tenant is living in unacceptable conditions, they have a better recourse to get the situation remedied. Further to this reform, all rental properties must meet a decent home standard, whereby minimum standards must be met to rent a property out. Ministers intend to streamline the tenancy process and have put forward a raft of measures to try and deal with the somewhat cumbersome legal process when both the landlord is suffering rent arrears and/or an antisocial tenant, and for those instances where a tenant wants to make a complaint due to unfit property standards. Of course, the reforms are at the white paper stage and need to pass through Parliament in the usual manner, so they are only proposals at this stage, and we will see in the fullness of time how they evolve. In the meantime, we plan to issue further updates where necessary and appropriate. Ironically, one certainty is uncertainty at the moment, with various factors at play both economically and politically. With inflation on a steady upward trend and interest rates creeping up too, this will place increased strain on household budgets in the coming months as we approach the autumn. From a landlord's point of view, you've got to ensure that your income is fully protected as we head into an inevitable economic downturn. I strongly recommend that you consider Belvoir's rent guarantee product if you haven't already got it, as it not only covers rent arrears, but also the costly litigation fees should you need to regain possession due to non-paying tenant. Can you really afford not to be covered? If you'd like any further advice on the back of this video, then please do not hesitate to get in touch with us on the numbers displayed on the screen. Many thanks for watching.